Hello friends, we have done so many programs using Arduino commands to drive vehicle. Now we have seen that for every time to move the vehicle forward we need to use these 6 commands. Every time to stop the vehicle I need to write these 6 commands. What if I can write only one single command for that? Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. That is possible by creating a function module. If you remember, we have spoken about the structure of our Arduino program where we said before setup we have declaration, then we have void setup, then we have void loop, and after loop is the area where we write our function modules. Let's understand that function modules are small programs which have a logical action. So we can't make function module of the entire program which we want to make. We have to know which are the logical portions of the program which are getting repeated or which have certain specific action which can be combined into a single command. And then we create function modules for those. So in this case, we know when we are using vehicle programming, vehicle forward, vehicle reverse, stop vehicle or hard turn, these actions are used repeatedly by us in our program. We can convert these actions into one single command by creating function modules for the same. Let's learn how to do it. Function module has a name. Let's create function module for forward action and hence give name as forward. So we have got a name. The name of command is always followed by open and close bracket. Now within this open and close bracket we can have certain parameters. We can have single parameter, we can have two parameters, or we may not have any parameter at all. But the open and close brackets are mandatory to indicate that this is a command. Now in forward, what input do we expect from the user? I expect speed. I want to know at what speed left and right motors should move. So the user needs to provide them to me. And when user is going to provide them, I need to catch them. I need to be able to store them somewhere because I want to use that later. For storing that, we need to create two variables, one for the left speed and one for the right speed. So we'll create variable ls for left speed and rs for right speed. The arguments inside the bracket are always separated by a comma. So there is a comma. So I have ls comma rs. Also, when we create variables in Arduino, we need to know what type of value we are going to store in those variables. We know that we are going to store the speed in these variables, and speed is a integer value between 0 to 255. And hence the type of our variables is going to be integer, which is shown as int. So this is int ls and this is int rs. The value they store is going to be an integer value. So what we have for our function module, we had a name, we had open close bracket, and between that, if required, we have some variables which are called parameters or arguments. And if we have multiple variables, they are separated by a comma, and each variable has to have the type mentioned. Now the action of the function module. The action is written inside a curly bracket. So I'll give open curly bracket, I'll click on enter and it automatically creates the closed curly bracket. And between these open and closed curly brackets, I have to write the action of this forward command. What do I expect the forward command to do? I expect the forward command to do this. Left and right motor needs to move in a certain fashion. So this is what forward command must do. digital write 2 low, digital write 3 high, analog write 5. Here I want a speed which a user has given me. And where I have stored that? I have stored that in this variable ls, left speed. So instead of writing 255 there, I will write ls here. Because whatever speed user is going to mention, that will be automatically stored in the variable ls. So if I use ls here, that speed will be used here. Same way for right motor, rs, my right speed. So that is the action which is complete. So we have name, we have open and close bracket. Inside open and close bracket, we have arguments separated by comma. The arguments or the variables have their type. And then inside the curly brackets, we have action. Now, what else is required for a function module? There is one more thing. The function module itself will have a type. And the type of the function module depends upon what value the function module returns back to the main program. Because function module is going to be used in our main program. When we use that function module in main program, after performing the action, what value it is supposed to return. Now in case of forward, do we need any value to be returned? Or do we need only the action to be carried out? We need only the action to be carried out. We don't want any value to be returned. And because it does not return any value, the type of this function module is void. Void means nothing. It is not returning any value back. And now our function module is ready. What it does? It has a type void, which means it does not return anything. It just performs the action. It has name forward. It needs two arguments, ls and rs, which are type integer. So it needs two values which are integer type, and then it performs this action. Now how to use that in our main program? Now instead of writing all these 6 commands here, I am going to write forward in bracket. Two inputs I have to pass, which are the integer values. I can have any values between 0 to 255. That's it. This command now refers to function module. So our Arduino program knows that there is a function module called forward. Whenever it comes here and it wants to execute this, what it does is it makes a call to forward function. And it puts these two values inside these two variables and then perform this action. When the last command of this action is finished, the execution comes back to this position again, which means it will start executing this, whatever is written after that. This is how a function module is created and is used. In our next video, we will create some more function modules so that our understanding of how to create and how to use function modules is clear.